Let me know if you can
Yes.
see my screen. Okay. All right. So let's dive into today's class. So today's class, we're going to be discussing one of the most important parts of social media management, and that is content marketing. So we're going to be talking about different things in content marketing that's going to help us as a social media manager. So let's dive right in. So what is content marketing? That's the first thing. So some of us know that when we go on social media, we see different write-ups from different people, from maybe our friends, our family, for people that we don't know, from our celebrities that we know. And what they are writing, or maybe a video, or a text or an image, is a content. That's what we call content. So it can either be an image, a video, or a text. So those forms we are saying they are content. So in terms of marketing, how does content help a business? So we're going to be talking about all those things today. So let's just go right into what content marketing is and why content marketing is important. Because as a social media manager, one of your jobs is to create content. And on you understanding the concept of content marketing as a social media manager is very, very important and paramount to the kind of results you yourself will use for your brand and you yourself will use for yourself. So content marketing is the strategic creation. You can see the word now, strategic. It's not just about, oh, I want to create content. We just create content and post. That is not an organized way of creating something that is tangible and something that will give effective result. It is strategic creation and distribution of valuable and relevant content. Look at the word valuable. Why is it valuable? Because of the target audience you are talking to needs that relevant information. Now, relevant also, it must be relevant to those people. Does it addresses their question, their needs? Designed to attract and engage a clearly defined audience. You know, that's why I give you the assignment of target audience. So that when you have an understanding of what target audience is, you can now clearly define the kind of content they will need based on the kind of problems they need to be solved. That means the goal of it is to be able to get people without actually directly selling. So rather than interrupting people with ads, now you know, some of us, majorly because we are blacks, so we may not really be so annoyed with ads. But majorly the whites get a lot of ads everywhere, especially on social media. They're always like, sometimes they're even tired. They're tired of seeing adverts. Like, once it does, they don't know this is an advert. But for us, we're not so used to a lot of advert and bombardment of ads. But the more you open your eyes, the more you'll be able to see ads, you'll be able to get some kind of OT, one or two things from those ads, be able to use to implement your advert. But that's just by the way. So rather than just interacting people is that it pulls them in by offering something genuinely tangible. So some of you will just notice that on your Instagram feed lately, maybe I'll be getting stuff about social media marketing or maybe related to AI. How many of you get that? So if you are getting that, first of all, especially from WhatsApp, WhatsApp is connected to Facebook, um, link is connected to Facebook and Instagram. So because of those three apps share data, that means they share information on how we interact with it to themselves. That's why I begin to get all those posts about maybe social media, digital marketing and stuff on your maybe Facebook feed or your Instagram reels and stuff. Because of that, you begin to get those kind of content. Why? Because of you're interacting with someone, or probably even having a training about it. You begin to see content about how to use AI to create content, how to use AI to do this, how to use AI to do that, because of this shared data. So now, having that understanding of what Facebook and this thing does. You go on your feed and then you see a content. Somebody decided to put out content. If you are very smart and very observant, you notice that this person is very number one consistent. Number two, this person is let me use the word organized and strategic. Why? Because he already has a plan of what he wants to create. I remember I was having a conversation like 2 days ago with one of my not 2 days ago, like a more last month with one of my friends who is a social media manager. And I was telling her that because she does for her personal brand, also does for the company she works with. So I was telling her that why is it that you're not consistent in your posting? Now, why don't you just create an organized plan for what you want to do, and then follow that plan, schedule it so that you are consistent. Not that you create one today, you remember that, oh, I've not posted, you now start rushing. Maybe you're not able to craft something good, then you forget. Then maybe now remember on Friday you now post, then maybe on Sunday you post another one again. You're not consistent. Because when you show up daily, people begin to see you as number one, as an authority, and also that this person knows what he's doing, because they know that it's not easy for everybody to come online and show up. Now, what makes your content very, very good? Number one, it's valuable. That means that the content addresses the real needs, answering genuine questions, solving specific problems for your audience. That means that whatever product, whatever business you're going to be working with, you must understand the pain point, and then your content should be around how you can help them solve their particular problem. That means majorly it could be educative also. Majorly, most of the content you see around digital marketing, see around content marketing, content creation, this is about it's educating you on what to do. Same way as this class. Number two, it attracts and engage. That's going to use to draw your ideal customers organically. So organic traffic is a way of getting people without having to spend money on ads. That's what organic traffic means. So once you hear the word organic traffic, it means they are not spending money on advert. Once you hear paid traffic, that means they are spending money on social media platforms to get, or other platforms, spending money on advertisement literally. That's what it means. So it keeps them coming back. So your goal is to attract them. They'll follow you and then they keep coming back. Why are you creating those content? To keep them engaged and educating them on the problem you're trying to solve for them and getting them to understand that problem. The next thing is build trust and not sales. So the goal of content marketing is to build credibility over time. Also creating relationship that leads to conversion. So another form of content marketing that people do is live. Some of you do TikTok live, or some of you might have gone to TikTok live or Instagram live for where somebody is educating you about, oh, maybe he's talking about those things about that's going on in your country, or just talking about his lifestyle, or just having a fun game on online with people. Those are things that people do just to get more followers on Instagram sef and on TikTok. Some of them also do where they share, they do all these, I forgot what they call them, where you share coins, you give to a lot of people things. Some of you know that, some of you even do it. So those are the ways those people use to build their brand, because these are strategies that work on TikTok. On Instagram, usually you cannot share all those stuff and that, but at least people can give you thumbs up, people can share your life to other people to come and hear and get educative stuff about your brand. So the next thing we're going to go now into is why it matters. And content marketing matters because of number one, brand awareness, for people to get to know about you, for you to show up in front of new people, and also increase your visibility and recognition across all social media platforms. So why is it called content marketing? Some of you might be wondering. The goal for content marketing is for you to be able to show up, get people to know you, get people to trust you, and get people to like you. That is it. To show up, get people to know you, get people to trust you, and get people to like you. Once you can get these three factors correctly, there's no why you will not be glued to a particular brand. There are some content creators, I know some of us are, that we always want to see their content every day. Like every time you go on social media, you want to see them. Why? Because they've stayed longer, their content is maybe valuable to you, and then you love what they do. That's wonderful, right? So those are people that go and they're always creating content, they're always talking about their lifestyle, they're telling you about one or two things that they did, and you like it, you like them, you want to be like them. Some of them are your role models. So those are some of the things that content marketing do. So if you are doing it for a personal brand, social media manager or social media marketer, then you need to understand what key problem you are solving for maybe business owner or whatever niche you are trying to enter. So another thing it does is it shows your expertise and positions your brand as a credible voice in the industry. So one thing that people will check you out now, if you're, let's say you're running a campaign, is that when they see your page, some people want to see, oh, what's this person's page about? This person is telling me to buy from me. Let me see what this person's page is about. So they come to your page and they don't see anything. Most of them will see you as a scammer. Once they come to you and say, oh, this person post, they go into your post, they get to see the kind of person you are. Maybe it's a personal brand, for instance, and then they are seeing your post. Oh, wow, I love what this person says. Oh, I love what this person is saying. I love what this person is saying. This person sounds very educated. This person sounds like knows what he's doing. And then they hit you up. Even most of the times, there are people that once you are consistent on social media, when people search for a particular keyword that you use in your content, they are able to show up on search, that's Google search, and then from there they can hit you up and like, oh wow, because they've gone to your content, they've seen that this person is credible. And even with AI reviews now, If you are very, very good at what we call search engine optimization, and you know how to optimize your social media links, optimize your content on social media, they also show up on Google. And then AI can also cite you when people are searching for a particular solution to their problem. So those are some of the things we'll be talking about in subsequent classes. Then we have what we call lead conversion. So you use content to also get leads. That's a well-crafted content guides prospect through a buyer journey, turning them from casual readers into paying customers. So those are another thing that it does. So while you're also doing content marketing, it's also position yourself as a top brand and also to get people to pay you for whatever you're advertising to them through content. So another thing is also long-term strategy, long-term growth. Unlike paid adverts that stop working once you stop spending money, content continues driving results longer after publication. And that is why YouTube is a very, very good content platform compared to Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Because YouTube is like an evergreen platform. Why? It's also a search engine because people keep searching for information. Also, people also keep seeing information because YouTube algorithm pushes your content to people to see because of push your content for people to keep seeing because like unlike Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, once people see it once, they may not necessarily come across that content again. But most times for YouTube, once you do your SEO correctly, your Tumblr is top notch, I mean your thumbnails is top notch, and then your content also has the SEO requirement. It begins to now take your content, especially if you are consistent with it, and it's show it to other people that will be interested in your content, compared to the likes of TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. So that's one thing you must know. So next thing is what are the types of content that we have? So a well-rounded content strategy uses thoughtful mix of content types. So what are the content types we have? We have educational content. And during the course of my class, I'm talking about where you talk about to educate people about your product and your service. If you're advertising for a brand, as you're creating content for a brand, so you're beginning to educate people why they need this particular product or service that or the company you are working for. So you're going to teach them, inform them, oh, this product solve XYZ for you. This product helps you give you the best feature, the best looks, like women that like wigs now. So you need to tell them the reason why they should wear wigs. Like for a man that likes shoes now, you need to tell them the reason why they should wear shoes if there's a brand they are promoting. So for you as a social media manager, if you are promoting your brand, you're going to be telling business owner why they need you as a social media manager. Why? They need to get more sales. Why? They need to get more followers. They need to get people their product in front of people that are interested in buying their services. So those are things. So what the educational content does is that it positions you and demonstrates your expertise. So you can have videos like can have videos of how to use maybe this tool, maybe an AI tool, and have videos of how to help your brand grow, those kind of things. The next thing we also you can use is tutorials like YouTube. There's a lot of tutorials and also explainers. There are explainer videos on YouTube. I love YouTube a lot because YouTube has a lot of educational things that I can learn. Very, very good. So some of those videos I've posted, people should also go to the our what's it called, our YouTube channel. Go and watch those videos because I noticed that those views are not going up and many of you are not taking time to go through it. So please take your time, go through those videos and it takes take your time and go through, understand any question, anything, any question you have, you can drop it on the group, we'll answer them. So the next thing is entertaining content. Some of us know some people that just come on social media and start dancing, and then you see some caption on top. You try to read the caption and then maybe check the content below after. Those are kind of entertaining content. So even entertainment content can be a lifestyle content where you are telling people about like behind the scenes. You are maybe even doing comedy. You are talking about it, something that happened to you. Maybe you enter the bus and maybe the driver was behaving anyhow, or the passenger you entered with the bus to was insulting you or something. That's a form of content. Just come and tell people about your day. That's for a personal brand now. But for a what's it called, for a brand, you can talk about the success story of how Mr. A bought this tool and is using this tool. That's like even creating a testimonial kind of content. Just things that people can find relatable. The most important thing about content creation experience that people can find relatable because that's what makes people connect to you on an human level. So once you find content that makes people connect to you on a human level, that helps your brand grow. Very, very important. So the goal is to find a connection. The goal is to appear genuine. And as much as yes, I will advocate for yes AI content, I also like to also advocate for more human content because that's what makes people feel connected. Because at the end of the day, people want to feel connected to your brand because they're seeing there was a normal person that a normal being that's creating this content. Oh, that's lovely. As much as yes, we can create content with AI, we can use AI to do a lot of wonderful things. Yes, I agree. Even now, even notice that a lot of people are now trying to make, even with the AI tools, they're just to enhance a little. They're not trying to make it overly look too AI-ish, so that people don't like, you know, that, this is AI. They don't really want to do it. It doesn't mean that it won't work if you use AI. I'm not saying that making it really give that connection. The goal is to grab attention and give connection to your audience. So the last one we have is the promotional part where you're focusing on you want to sell. So you will notice that there are some pages you go to that all they are just talking about is come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. And the reason why people don't really necessarily buy from them is because they are too salesy. And people don't want to buy from someone that is too salesy. They want someone that gives them a mix of education, give them a mix of entertainment, and then you now sell to them. Maybe you can have a post where in a month, you say you are doing a personal brand, now you can have, maybe you are talking to them about your product, maybe like once a week that you should come and buy from you, or twice a week, depending on the amount of content you are putting out. Then this is used sparingly to avoid alienating your audience. So this is what we call a product. If you have a product you want to launch, maybe digital product or offers, the company wants to launch a new product, or they have a product they are creating an offer around, or they're giving discounts. That's when you can have a promotional content. So we can also do lives to promote your content, like social media live. So also advisable things to do. So the ratio you can see is a balance mix, typically 60% for educational, 30% entertaining, 10% promotional. So while you're making it entertaining, you don't want people to get bored of the education you're giving. That's educating them about why they need your product or your service. Then you keep your audience interested, also building a long-lasting trust, and then driving sustainable business growth. Okay. So the next thing we have is the forms of content marketing. So we have different forms of content marketing, which I'm not going to spend so much time talking about. Some of us know blog posts. Blog posts is those articles you see online when you search for a particular query. When you search, maybe you have to go for a question, and you see all those pages that pops up on online. Those web pages, those are blog posts. So social media content, we have short form posts, we have stories, we have updates that builds community and spark conversation. We have videos like we know on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and the likes. We know that already. And then we have podcast, which is also a good way of was a content market where you begin to invite maybe somebody who's an expert in a particular community or a particular niche. Let's say, for instance, now you're inviting me to come and speak about digital marketing, it helps business grow. Then we have a very organized place where we have mics and I can talk about it. Then the host is going to ask me questions about what I know about digital marketing. I'm beginning to respond and give real life example and blah 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 blah. So those are things like what podcast is. Then next we have is infographics. So you see, majorly infographics is always majorly on Instagram, where people post content where you have educational, maybe statistics, maybe you have like these forms of marketing. I can create something like an information, what's it called, a infographics where it talks about the data and summarizes data of complex information, and then maybe you see like statistics there, which makes it easy for people to generate. And last one we have is email newsletter. So when you go to our emails now, we get a lot of newsletter from different brands that we have signed up because we give them our emails to be able to get to nurture us about their product. So that's where you can see another form of content marketing where they are consistently educating you about that product. So consistently you get content from them, consistently till you become a buying customer. So the next one we have now is the let's talk about target audience. So we'll just talk about it briefly because we've done it already. Is to be able to know how to talk to your audience. So this is just great content start with deep understanding of who you are talking to. Very important. That's why I talk about target audience is very, very important. That's understanding what their pain point is. You map out what challenges your audience are facing concerning this product or service I'm trying to create content around. Then you now offer your solution or your product as that key solution that solves that problem for them. Next thing is you create a buyer persona, which we talked about. That's also like the target audience, or what we call a customer avatar or a customer persona. So that's it. So I'm not going to go too much because we've done that class already. So the key question is, before creating any piece of content, ask yourself, does this solve a real problem for my audience? If yes, you're on the right track. So that means that whatever content you're creating, you need to ask yourself if that content solves that problem for your customer or for your audience. So if it's education now, what education are you educating that customer about that product, or that person in your audience about that product? Is this something that person will need? Is this something that is going to make me, oh, makes person more knowledgeable. Like when you come to the social media management space, digital marketing space, let me just give you an info. The whites have a basic and on basic understanding of what is social media marketing. So when you're coming to tell them anything, they already know because they do it. It's a culture for them. They know it about it. So when you even start to be like, wow, these people are so educated about it compared to your average black business owner. So these are things that once you already understand, oh, this person has a knowledge, you now begin to go a little bit advanced. Maybe like for instance, let's talk about an average lifetime value of a customer. Many of them don't know that. Many of them just know that okay, I know I'm running an advert, I'm getting sales, I'm just calculating how much I spend on advert, what's my profit, and that's all. But there are deeper things, deeper technologies that I can now use to sell to that person, make the person understand, oh, I'm not doing this, and they see you as that expert and that go-to person. And one thing about content marketing does, like I said, is that people are always looking up for your next content. Especially once they already like you, they're always like, I want to hear from this person, I want to see this person. There's sometimes that they even go to your page basically just to see what you posted that day because they find your content valuable. The next thing is content marketing goals. So the next content marketing is what's the goal of content marketing? Number one, the goal of content marketing is to drive website traffic. That's to get people to come from whatever content you created. Like for instance, we have search engine content. That's content on websites where it can drive people to make a consultation or to make a buying purchase on that person's website. So number two is lead generation. So you want to convert people that are coming to your what's it called, your content to be able to buy from you. Maybe for instance, you can drive them to you see content like where they say check the link in my bio, and then the one they're try to drive you to come into their funnel. That's where they have a page where you put in your name, your email, and your phone number, and you sign up for whatever. Maybe they're having a course. There's something that will tell you, oh, DM this stuff. Maybe DM AI, and then when you DM AI, they will send you a link, or maybe they will send you the contents they have just to be able to create engagement on that post. Those are strategies they use. So the next thing we have is brand engagement to encourage likes, shares, and content and comment. So why they do that is because of they want the algorithm to show it to more people. So one of the strategies you need to do is also commenting on other people's posts when you're creating your content, because once you comment on other people's posts, if you look, say Facebook, social media will see your brand as a someone that is active, that is really active on his social media platform, not just creating content, but also commenting on other people's posts consistently, and not just commenting just any kind of comment, meaningful comment. That means you have to take your time, read the person's comment, then comment on that post. Make valuable comment. And the reason why I'm making valuable comment as social media manager or a digital marketer is because so when another person comes in and reads your post, he also finds you valuable. He finds you that this person seems to know more about this particular thing, and then but the person can even check your profile and see what you are up to. And then from there, that person can even be your customer or even be somebody that you might have good social media relationship with. So the next thing is also to get customer education, which helps customers understand your product. Number two, your industry and the best practices. That reduces support queries and build confidence. What that means is that once you begin to educate people that about your product or your service, about your industry, people begin to see you as a thought leader, and also it reduces questions and inquiries, because if they are consistent about on your page, they are seeing your constant education, they will not come to your DMs and begin to ask you a lot of questions and stress you so much, which you can lead you to being overwhelmed. So those are things that content marketing does. Then next thing we have is drive sales. So content marketing, another goal of content marketing, and is a long-term strategy. If you know you're going to be going into content marketing, apart from just your getting a job in as a what do you call it, social media manager, if you're not going to be doing this as for yourself as a personal brand, you need to know the long-term game. I want you to know that so I don't get along the line, get tired and know that this thing is not giving me money. You know they are trying to build a brand, and you know you have goals and objective of why you are doing it. You're not just doing it because you just want to make money. You're also doing it to add value to the society. I hope some of you know now that if you want to go to the US, your social media links are required to go to the US. Why? Because of US don't want to just bring in anybody inside their country. They also want to bring valuable people into their country also. And I think very soon Canada and other white European countries are going to be adopting that methodology. So you see why it's even important for you to now build your personal brand and not just depend on building another company's brand or them paying. So you also have to build your brand, and also helps you build yourself. So to drive sales, these guys prospect through a buying journey with content. That's it addresses their objection and also I like the value they are getting from their product. So that's one thing content marketing does. It addresses people's objection. So people's objection could be how am I sure this is valuable? So you can have a testimonial content where people say that, oh, somebody else has bought from them and it works very, very well. So for brands like, well, when they use your product and the product is not good, you can also create a content where you go to maybe they give you a refund, you can do a refund, or maybe you do a video where you are changing that product for that person. That also brings trust. So it's very, very important you can put some of these things into perspective. So the next thing I want to talk about is storytelling in marketing. Storytelling. One of the most important things about human beings is that we love stories. We love stories. I remember when I was very, very young, my mom used to tell me stories of Samson, stories of David, and the way she used to craft it. Many times I always look at it like when I read in the Bible, I'm like, how like how do you be able to think and become very, very creative about these stories? And the way she used to say it is also engaging and lovely. So one thing about storytelling is that it must captivate your audience. Like you have to just, if you don't know how to write stories, go and read story novels, or yeah, also everything's now online, so you can check them online and read. Look at how the writer writes it. Now begin to practice it yourself and begin to now see a way of crafting your own stories. And stories doesn't have to be practically real, but for business brand, you have to create stories where your audience find it relatable. So you can create a story where you can even get it from other people. Like that's what we call ethical. I don't want to use the word ethical stealing. There's a way of getting content from people that when they create content, you can also pick the whole idea that they of content they create and then use it as your own story, your own content. So that's to tell you that you're not really shortchanged when it comes to content creation. There's a lot of content out there. So you can just go to people's page, look at what they are doing, pick the concept of what they are talking about. So you now use a story to explain that. So stories are powerful tools that forge deep and emotional connection with your audience, which moves them from just mere information delivery to create a lasting impact. So one thing you need to do, number one, is to identify the audience challenge, then show the struggle, show the transformation. So one thing I want you to know is that if you're starting your own personal brand journey, start from where you are. If you have a phone that the camera is not good, start it and do it. And one thing that does for you is that it shows people your journey. It doesn't show people that, oh, this person just jump from the sky. What I mean by jump from the sky, it just has a perfect environment where, oh, everywhere is looking well and good. I have friends who believe that's the kind of content creators. But I don't really advise people to do that, because you're not really showing people your journey. That, oh, I was creating a bad content before, then all of a sudden my content now became good, and people can see that track record. Oh, this person grew, and then that, oh, this person has actually went through a process. So when you are talking in front of people, people already can see your journey. People that know you sees your journey already. They know, yes, this person has gone through a transformational process, and they respect you for that. So for instance, now somebody is launching a new tech product. He knows he has a tech product he's creating. So what does he do? It begins to tell you that, oh, day one of this thing, I got the idea of this tech product. I'm going to create this tech product. Maybe to it too, he does the what they call the minimum viable product. That's maybe the UI UX of the product. He does the user interface of that product. So it tells comes to the next day, it tells you day two, it tells you about that. Maybe day three, it starts coding, tells you the stress in coding, tells you about his day, that kind of thing. So it's beginning to engage them in that product. It's showing them the struggle, challenges he faced, that maybe he had a bug he was trying to fix, he couldn't fix that bug, that kind of thing. It's going to build a connection with the audience. And you find out that when that product is ready, it will get people that will use that product and be able to pay him money for it. Why? Because he understands the power of storytelling. He's showing them his journey, that, oh, this is where this product started from. I'm building this product. It now begins to show them the process of how it's building. By even explaining to them, oh, this is what he's doing, like go deep into explaining those things. And people begin to say, oh wow, this guy is building something that is really going to be valuable for my business. And then when the product is not ready, we go there, they test it and they see, they even give me feedback of if the product is good enough, or if it's something that is good and valuable. And some of them even go ahead to even post on their stories where they even ask their audiences, just the idea about the popular audience too, if the product idea is very good enough for them to build, and then from there begin to share their journey. If you are very, very consistent on Instagram, you see some young guys, white guys, they do it a lot, where they are talking about this product, the one, the two. They'll tell you that even maybe day 61, they've already gotten like 2 or 10 people that have paid them already for that solution. So what are they trying to do? They understand the power of stories, and they are telling their stories daily, and they are showing their struggle, they are showing the transformation of, they are telling you, taking you to the journey of how they built that product. And then their solution, they now present the solution as an outcome. So they present it as an outcome that solves that problem. When people see that product, they like it, and then they begin to buy. So now imagine that kind of person running advertising, and then you go to check is social media, and you have seen the one, the two, the three, the four, you are like, wow. You won't be interested now. Let me even see what this guy is doing. But compare somebody who does created content and then we're not seeing any transformation. The variant difference, there are going to be variations in the difference. So this narrative arc makes your content not just memorable, also profoundly relatable. Why does it make it relatable? Everybody faces challenges in whatever they do. Whether I'm in Nigeria, you're in South Africa, you're in Zimbabwe, you're in Zambia, you face challenge every day. So you'll be able to coming out to share those content makes people see you as a genuine person and they want to actually connect with your brand. Because I always love people that tell their stories because that brings that kind of connection. I'm like, wow, and people can find it relatable. So that's another thing again. So once you are creating relatable content that people can see, people see this person, like, wow, this is someone that I love to keep hearing from. So this helps them build stronger brand loyalty, advocacy among their customer base. So next thing we have is the content creation processes. So what are the content creation processes we have is, so for a successful content, doesn't happen just by accident. There is a structured process that ensures consistency, one, quality, alignment with your goals. So whatever goal you are trying to achieve with your content, that will determine what kind of content you're going to be creating. Turning creative ideas into a repeatable system that delivers results. So number one, we have research and research topics. So you use keyword research, audience survey, competitive analysis to identify what your audience wants to read. The next thing you do is to plan out your content calendar. So you can have a 30 days content calendar, which is very, very important. So you map out what you want to publish, when and on what platform that ensures publishing reading. Then you now want to go into creating your content, which is to write, design, record, and produce your content with quality and your brand voice in mind. Remember, and your brand voice in mind. So that means across all social media, your brand voice must stay consistent. How you communicate must stay consistent. Very, very important. So the next thing you also want to do is to publish, distribute your content across the right channels like blogs, social media, emails, and video platforms. So another thing you want to do if you have the money to spend on ads is to promote your content. That's for, I think on Facebook, it's very cheap to promote video views. That's increase your views. Very, very cheap. With $1, you can get about 1,000, 2,000 views. So, and even Instagram and the likes, very, very cheap to promote. When it comes to getting people to buy from you, that's where the real work comes in, and that's where paid ads come in. So, we'll discuss that in subsequent classes. So, we also have other ways of promoting content like email campaigns, influencer outreach, and then paid promotion. So, some of you knows that influencers, so when you go to their product, they are also advertising products for you to come and buy. And what they are trying to do is to leverage on your trust, leverage their because you trust their brand. So because you like them, you want to buy that product they're advertising. So what are the content channels that we have? Distribution channels. So creating a great content is only half of the battle. Yes, you need to get it in front of the right audience and the right channels. So we have multiple distribution channels. That's number one. We have the website and the blog. These are personally owned platforms where the center of where all content connect. This has to do with SEO creative. So all this content that we see when we search for information online or majorly on Google or any search engine, it's from someone's website is coming from or someone's blog is coming from. So somebody put those information out there. So the next one we have is social media platforms where we have LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok. Each offer unique ways to share content and engage different audience segments. Then we have email marketing where we have to get their emails, then beginning to nurture those emails, educate them about our content, about our offers, about our product, and then this drives repeat engagement. Then we have SEO where you have to optimize content that runs organically in search results, bringing in consistent and high intent traffic over time. Then we have paid ads. This is boost top performing content which paid advertisements, so you can boost your content to reach people on a specific target audience segment. So you use money to do that. That's what paid ads does. So that's about the plan. So the last thing we have here is the measuring content success. So how do you measure your content success? They use there's this for website now. We use website traffic. That's what we use Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is to track the paid views, people that come into your website as unique visitors, the traffic sources where they are coming from. They come from Facebook, they coming from your emails? Are they coming from your website? These are ways you can track to know what content and specifically what kind of search phrase are they searching for that helps people get to your website. The next one we have is the engagement metrics, which is your likes, share, and comment. And a time on page reveals how well your content resonates with others. So you will notice that those content creators online, they always tell you to comment below, leave a comment below, or they also tell you to what's it called, to comment a particular word. Why are they telling you to do that? To drive engagement. Because you understand that once you like, most people will majorly like your content, but most people may not majorly comment on your content. So they make sure that people comment because that helps show your content to people in that person's what they put that person's followers. So what it means that, so if I have a page you are seeing online, I tell you to comment. That means once you comment on it, people that you are following, people that are following you also will see that you made a comment on my post, and that helps me expand my content to other people's audiences. So that's what commenting does. So that's why they always tell you to share my post. That's why they always tell you to comment on my post. That's why they tell you, and that engagement helps them to help other people that are not following them to see that content. And also, once that content gets a lot of engagement, social media keeps posting that content because social media find it more relevant. I know that because people are engaging it is relevant. That's how the algorithm thinks. Because of people are engaging that content, it finds that content relevant. Then it begins to keep showing up, showing. There's some content that you have seen a week ago that you probably like at the comment, and you keep seeing that content for a bit 2-3 weeks on social media feed. I believe some of us have experienced that. So the last one we have is next one we have is the conversion rates. That's if you are trying to drive people to sign up, to download maybe an ebook, or to download something on your website, or to make a purchase, to check the conversion rates of how people are moving. Maybe you're creating content for that, from your seeing your videos to also your website to make a buying purchase. Then the last one we have is the SEO ranking. That's to monitor the keyword. That's for majorly the website traffic, to monitor the keywords position in search results, to gauge long-term visibility and authority your content is building. So in conclusion, content marketing is a journey. Like I said, it's a long-term strategy. It's not something that you just do once and you think that it does give you the instant result you're looking for. No, it takes time. Especially if you are trying to build followers and trying to sell something to people. So you take your time, create your content, put in the work, and over time you begin to see the results. Then content marketing is essential because it's not just a trend. It's a foundational pillar in modern business for modern businesses to connect with their audience and drive sustainable growth. Also, you as a content creator or as a social media manager, you focus on driving value, delivering value, and have varieties. So it could be video today, it could be images tomorrow, it could even be your own picture where you just post and write something valuable. Educational content can even be something engaging that you want people to just talk about their day, how their day went, that kind of thing. You can go live and have a conversation with your audience, that kind of thing. So catering to varied preferences and need for your audience. So you know the needs and challenges your audience are facing, so you can have that as a topic and then you can have that discussion in your life. You see, one thing about having live is that even people do it normally as just entertainment, that people just come and talk about, oh, you just see them connecting people, they talk about relationship, they just talk about, oh, what's going on in the country, different topics. So you can do something like that even for your personal brand, just to build more connection. You know, the longer you do that, people begin to see, especially those people that watch live, they begin to join your live and see, oh, they find it valuable. There are even people on TikTok that used to do what they call, they will take follow to follow. That's what it's called. You follow me, I follow you. So they'll tell you to follow me because you came on their life. They'll tell you to follow and they'll follow you back. So that's how they build their followers. But as much as that is a strategy people use, I will also advise not to totally engage in that because you are not bringing, it's not going to bring in the right audience they are looking for. So for instance, you are a social media manager and you're trying to create content to attract business owners. So if you are doing follow to follow, you are yet to get followers, yes. Maybe even what's it called? TikTok might even be paying you, but you might not really get the full, maximize the full value of getting the right people that are interested in your, what's it called, your services. So those are things that you need to also consider because it's also a long-term game. So if you have more people that are interested in your services, you can be able to charge them a particular amount for the service you run and then make more money for yourself. So the next thing is leveraging storytelling, like I talked about. You utilize compelling narratives to differentiate your brand, build emotional connection with your audience, and then craft content that resonates. The most important thing is content that resonates, like what people can connect to. what can build people's connection. So why I talk about this, I remembered about I think 4 years ago or between 4 to 6 years ago, I went to a friend's birthday party and I did not know anybody there apart from my friend. But most of our people that came are our friends. So in my mind, I was wondering what can I bring up that I could use to talk to these people. So I brought then there was what we call for those of us that watch for this Champions League match today. So Champions League, that was I talked about because it just brought out the draw that year. So I just brought up that topic and we started talking. So my friend came to me and was like, wow, Moses, I didn't know you can do something like this. I could just bring something that instead of everywhere being quiet, you brought up something that everybody could relate to and connect and find related because we were major league guys that were there. So we guys were discussing about Champions League, that oh we win this match. I said, oh Champions League draw is out. What do you guys think about this match? Who do you think will win? So everybody now begin to drop their opinion that oh maybe Liverpool will win this match because of the kind of opposition they are playing with. Why? Because of something that we find relatable and something that we can connect to. So those are you have to come up with different ways that you can connect with your audience. Thank God for the advent of AI also, but apart from those AI using to get this content, you can also go on people's social media platform, look at oh, what are the kind of contents they are creating. Those are things that will also help you know how well to create your own content. If you find a content that you like, you can also do it. And one thing I want to tell you about content creation, you don't really know the content that will do well. It's the content you think that I put in my best effort, you think it's do well, you'll be disappointed that this is not going to work. It's now the one that maybe you didn't even do so well that you find people engage with. Why? Because that is the one that people find relatable. So you now study it. What did I do well? What did I see? How did I see it? How did I communicate? Those are the things you now study. You now begin to replicate what you did to get the same desired result. So the last thing is consistency, consistent optimization. That's maintain consistency in your effort, rigorously measure your performance, and then use insights to continually refine and improve your strategy for maximum impact. So the insights, that's the analytics, is going to tell you how what you are doing well and what you're not doing well. So those are things that's going to help you know, okay, this is what I need to do next. This is what I need to implement for me to get the desired result. So we have come to the end of today's class. So I'd like to take questions for those of us that have questions. I'd like to take questions for those of us that have questions. Please, if you have questions, please let's have them. Yes, Anthony. Anthony.
Thank you, Moses. Uh, I wanted to ask, at what point do you think we should leverage social media listening tools in the process of, as you have shared today? Is it in measuring the KPIs or maybe in collecting the trends that are going on? What ways can we leverage social media marketing tools, listening tools, I mean, and in what ways would it be beneficial?
Okay. So when it comes to listening to, I would say that majorly trends are a one-time thing. Like it just comes and goes, comes and goes. So you can have yourself, what do you call it, a organized content plan first, because that is your structural way of consistently showing up for your audience. That's one. Now, when it comes to all these trends, those trends comes one. So it's very good for you to also be active on trends. Like TikTok has its own trend. Like majorly all this music, like there's a music that just came out, and I think is Let Me Be. Then some of us may have heard it. So something like that now, you know that you have that trend and people are already using that trend. It's already becoming a trend on TikTok, it's already trending on Instagram. So you notice that you have content plan already going on. So you can just create a content around that. You come up with, okay, what kind of content could I create? It could be something like where people come up and dance, you have a caption on top, and then you can just create that kind of content and then you dance, maybe do a dance step or something, or you can maybe do a facial expression and you point to that content. That's a form of way of leveraging it. So the thing is that trends are also important in content marketing. I didn't really talk much about them because of trends come once and they don't stay. So trends also help in building brand, but majorly your focus is long term, not just because trends are majorly. I don't want to use the word superficial, but it's important. But also, you know that your goal is to continually create educational content, entertain your audience, and also drive sales, whether for your brand or for your business. So you are focused on a long-term goal. So trends are just along the way where you can just do something that I will talk about a particular thing that is trending and then have them as a content. Just to maybe share your own view when it comes to something that is a discussion, when it comes to a video, when it comes to a song, then and do a video around it and then post. It's also important in growing social media brands. I hope that answers your question, Anthony.
Yeah, just to rephrase maybe a bit, we have these social media listening tools that tell us what is happening in the social media space. So, what do you think? When is the best time to deploy them or to leverage them in the process of social media management?
The best time I would say is I would say if you have a job, let's say for instance you are a social media manager, I say every day. Why I said every day is because you want to, apart from just the content plan you have, you want to stay active on what's going on. Like I talked about consistency and active, you must be active. In this industry we are in is an industry that is evolving. So you need to know what is going on, what people are doing, and then how best, what kind of content that will help you grow that brand, get followers, and get more viewership on your brand. So that's why it's very well. So I'll say daily, use it daily. Every day when you get to work, or for a personal brand, you can use it daily also. So it's something that's very important. So I have Tambeka, I have Joseph, and I have Sam. So these are people I'm taking for this class for the many questions. So Tambeka, you can shoot.
Hi, Moses. Thank you for the opportunity. My question is, how do you decide which social media platform is best for a brand? So, what factors do you take into consideration when you are choosing a social media platform that is best for a particular brand that you are to be working with particularly?
So first of all, when you say brand, I'll put to divide them into personal and for maybe your a company. So for personal, all social media platforms. Also for companies, all social media platform. But it depends on the kind of product they are selling and where their audience are also be found. So what you need to do is to find out the target audience, what platform are they in? Are they more on Facebook than TikTok? Are they more on Instagram than YouTube? So you need to find out where platform they are. So that's what determines what platform you're going to be using. All right. Joseph, Joseph, are you there?
Oh, okay, sorry, it's my turn. Yeah, thank you so much, Moses. Okay, so my question is like in a day, how many times can someone make a post maybe to reach more audience? And also my second question is you mentioned something about like maybe if we are just starting this content digital marketing journey, if we are just starting it, we shouldn't focus on sales, like maybe saying order now or something like that, using some of those call to actions. So my question is, what call to action can we include in our post? Because me, I have a small business I'm running, and all these things you have been saying that like I'm just seeing how valuable they are. So what call to action can someone add to those posts in order to maybe reach more audience? Thank you.
Okay, so how many times you do post? Now, well, for me, I would always recommend three
Okay, for
times a
me,
day.
okay.
I always recommend three times
Excellent.
a
I
day
thought you were
for a
asking me
new
a
brand. No,
question.
no, I'm responding to you. So I'm always recommending three times a day. I know somebody that does six times a day on Facebook, but what she does because it's a personal brand, so there's a lot of things she can talk about. There's a lot of content and there are many things going on in the country, so there are many things to even talk about. She talks majorly about business, how businesses can grow. She also has a promotion, though she's a big brand already, so there's a lot of things. But for you as a growing brand, your content should be more educational first. Then you have an entertaining. If you like videos, you can do videos. If you have people you can employ to do that for you, can do it. You can use your family members that are extroverted that like videos that could do it. But you can also use yourself because you are the number one promoter of your business. So you have to be the one to promote your business. Then sales, for the sales part, I can recommend that you can have a strategy where you can focus more once a week or twice a week post of sales. That's I can recommend that. So you have maybe once a week, twice a week on sales. That will help you. It help your brand particularly. Then what's your second question again?
Okay, my second question, do you want me to repeat it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so my second question, when you were explaining, you said something about like if we are just starting to build our brand, we shouldn't focus on maybe sales.
Okay.
You understand? So I was asking like what are some of the call to action we can maybe add on our post to
So
reach more
call
audience.
to
So that was my
action to
question
reach more
actually.
audience. I think I talked about it. Tell people to comment, like, share. Majorly comment will help you more. Comment will help you more. So don't worry, I'll drop the next class. So I talked about most of the strategies in the next video. So those tomorrow we're not having a class. So those videos you're going to watch them, take your time and watch them. So I think it's about an hour. How to create content. I talked about different strategies and things that you need to do, kind of content to create. So those are things that will help you better. So once you implement those things, just stay consistent. But I would also advise you don't just stay on what's it called organic. Also put some money into ads to get sales from your brand. Uh, oh, Samuel, Abi Sam. And that's the last question I'm taking for today.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Um, so my question is, you said storytelling helps to build a brand and
Yes,
put your product right.
yes.
So, are there any disadvantage when you start doing storytelling for a product idea that has not been in production? Won't there be idea piracy or someone intellectual property infringement before you actually even put that product out? Someone has already get a full detail of what you are hoping to
I get you.
produce.
I get you. I get what you're saying. So, the thing is that why I shared that is because it works. Number one, now, yeah, scared of competitors. You should not be
Yes.
because of what I want to use this word. There's something called unique selling proposition. What makes you different? What makes you stand out? And though what you're going to be releasing is what we call an MVP, that's minimum viable product. That means it's not everything you have in your head that you want to put in that
Okay.
product that you are releasing. You're only just bringing
Okay.
something in major value. So, for instance, now I'm creating a social media tool that can help businesses create content. Maybe that's what I'm creating. Another person can pick the idea and copy it, but he doesn't know that maybe I want to add video creation. Doesn't know I want to add maybe image creation. Doesn't know I want to add maybe linking a way that I'll create an AI agent that will be able to help me maximize my social media platform that is creating content for me without those are other features I was going to come on. So first of all, make sure your idea is number one unique. Make sure the features and also you get feedback from people. You can get feedback from people by getting knowing what features they want in that product. Now you talk about idea what to call it, there's this word you use particularly for what's it called, where people patent an idea. Nobody can patent an idea. They can only trademark a name. They can't trademark the idea because Facebook is not the only social media platform now. There's Facebook, is the only social media platform. There's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's the only thing they cannot copy is the code. So anybody can build a platform. So you should not be consistent about it. You should be more concerned about getting your own audience, people that know you, people that trust you, and people that like you, and people that are paying you for that too. That's your concern, not your competitors. Your competitors is just for you to know what are they doing different from you that you can implement to grow your own business too. That's all. So I hope that answers your question. Sam? Sam?
Yes, thank you. You've answered my
Yes.
question.
So I want to just take a screenshot of those that are here today in today's class. Then I want to make an announcement So for those of you that are coming consistently, I really appreciate you for coming. Then we're going to be having what we call, at the end of this training, we're going to be having what we call an interview for us. So our assessment is there. We also have an interview to ensure that you understand what we are really doing here. That's all part of things you're going to be adding to help you guys qualify for an internship. And please go and watch those videos. Very, very important. Watch those videos. Take your time, find time. Like this period, I expected a lot of us to have gone to watch those videos. I expected a lot of us to have done that, but I'm not seeing views increase. And these things are things that we are doing it for free. Many people will charge you for what I'm teaching you today. They will charge you, but FlyHire is giving you this for free, so don't devalue it. I will see you guys on Thursday. I will drop the link for the video they are going to watch tomorrow. I've already dropped the the slides already, so you can see them. Then the videos will come later in the day. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a good night rest.
Nice.
Thank you, Moses.